Hey everyone, it's Nate here with another weekly report of our portfolio performance on eToro. Second full week for 2026, and it was a rough one. It was a rough week in our portfolio. So let's jump across to eToro and let's take a look at our performance here. Let me log in real quick, and here we are on eToro. If you haven't used eToro before, this is the feed, the home screen. Our week's report, for the week we saw a decline of 2.96%. It actually sent us negative for the year at the moment, but we went down 2.96% for the week. I want to take a moment before we dig into our statistics and thank the 12 copiers, investors that are investing with me, and the 2.5 thousand followers that follow on eToro. And thank you to all the YouTube subscribers and likes and comments on videos and such. I really appreciate it. Let's jump into our statistics. So month to date we are sitting at 0.69%, and obviously that is going to be the same year to date because we're in January. We had a great first full week, and then this past week's been a bit rougher. First full week at the end of last week we were up over 2%, but then this 2.96, almost 3% decline this week, and it's just a lot of volatility in the market at the moment, and with some of our holdings after a great strong prior week, we saw a bit of a pullback in some of our holdings, which is to be expected after such a strong week. So Zeta Global pulled back a bit after over 20% gain in just last week, the week prior. So they had a bit of a pullback, but we're still seeing good gains with Zeta Global, and it's a long-term holding for us. Now, in the coming, this is our current portfolio is where we're sitting, just in case you're wondering. In the coming week, we are going to be adding funds into our portfolio, and I'm looking at investing. We'll be adding to our kids' college fund, which we use VOO, which tracks the S&P 500. So we'll be putting a portion into VOO. We'll be putting a portion into SPY, which also tracks the S&P 500. And so a portion into there, and that's for our 2 children at the moment. And SPY holds less because that child is only 6 months old, or 7 months now. And then we'll be putting a portion into VUG for our it's part, the rest, everything else is part of our retirement. So into VUG, and another portion is going to be opening a new position, adding a new holding, a new ETF, RSP, which is Invesco's equal weighted S&P 500. So the 500 companies, but it's not weighted, it's equal weighted. And so say you put $1,000 in, each company will get $2, right? That's how the equal weighted works, whereas the traditional S&P 500 is weighted to the biggest company. So the largest company will be 4, 5, or 6%. They'll get the majority, and then the smallest company is going to be like 0.01% or something like that. And they'll get just the smallest portion of your investment, and it's weighted that way. But we're going to be opening a position into an equal weighted S&P 500, at least for the time being. This isn't going to be a long-term thing, but I see the bull market spreading out. I'm going to do a bit of a video on that in the coming weeks, so if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe for that video. We're also going to be opening up a new holding in Snap. Again, going to do a video on that in the coming weeks, so watch for that. Snap, the management is aggressively buying back stocks, buying back shares in Snap, and I expect it's preparing for a bounce. And then also adding to, we're looking, this isn't confirmed. I'll keep you posted through the week once the funds are added. We're looking to add a bit to our position, as open up a second position in PayPal. Um, it's been beaten up a bit, but really the signs are there for a bounce again. Subscribe, follow along, and I'll keep you posted with exactly what we're doing, because I'm watching a couple other companies that I posted about on eToro, Contour, Lamb Western, things like that. So follow along, subscribe if you don't already. But that's what's happened this past week. Bit of volatility happening in our portfolio at the moment, but as I always say, the only people that get hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off. So I don't make emotional decisions. I don't freak out and close positions, even if some are having, like Adobe and PayPal at the moment, are having a bit of a rough time, and Zeta's had a pullback after a massive gain the prior week. I don't make emotional decisions. We're investing. If I close a position or close a holding, like we did with UPS recently, it's for as a reason we close positions. We don't just close because we're feeling this or feeling that. But follow, subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and we will see you in the next video.